Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newbold and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.
Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 163 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Hillbilly Kobe Van Stratton. I'm joined by Rodney Newbold, the Rod Dog, our Noop Daddy.
Hillbilly Kobe.
Do you know who that is?
I don't remember.
He is still playing. He is, in fact, a current Los Angeles Laker.
Austin Reeves?
It is Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
That was like the nickname when he was like an undrafted player from I grew up where, Arkansas?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and just like no one knew who he was. He comes in and that was like the nickname that they gave him, Hillbilly Kobe. So,
all right.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Now we're getting ready for the whole NBA season, so it's a fitting time. It's crazy. Like the schedule came out, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. But then it's like the NBA is right around the corner. The Good Morning America Today show or whatever this morning had Mike Tirico on. Of course they did. And he's like, it's just around the corner, NBA. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little over 2 months.
Yeah.
A little over 2 months until it's back. And, not to divert the subject even further, but hockey starts next month. Hockey starts end of September now, thanks to the new 84-game season. So we're going to be having football start next month. We're going to be having hockey start next month. Then October, NBA.
Why did the NHL decide to go to 84? What was the reasoning for that?
Well, Rodney, let me ask you this. Why would a bunch of 32 billionaires want an extra home game?
Yeah. I just like did the players like, yeah, sure, we'll play 84 game. I don't know. Just feels like
since when have you met a hockey player who wasn't like, yeah, I want to go out there and play every single game? Like these guys play through like severed Achilles.
Yeah.
Like they're fine with 2 more regular season games. I think they can manage it.
All right. Well, yeah, no, I did know it started at the end of September, so we're right around the corner.
Yeah, we are. But we got a lot to get to today. We do have active sports to talk about, and starting with Major League Baseball. Before we get to that, though, Rodney, as we like to start with the show, why don't you give a quick shout out to our friends over at Gateway Sports?
Yeah, obviously Gateway Sports been proud partners of us for quite some time, coming up on about a year now. And if you love sports at every level, there's only one place you need to be. That is Gateway Sports. They cover it all from the preps, college, and the pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game. From live shows to podcasts, Gateway Sports connects the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. First Form right here on my shirt, by the way. Visit gatewaysports.net. Every level, one gateway. More simple and quick. That is Gateway Sports. And thanks to Gene and everybody over there at Gateway Sports. And like I said, I wore my First Form shirt here. Let me pull this up right there. First Form. There you go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
First Form with a PH.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Gateway Sports. And we always kind of bring it into like a St. Louis topic. Well, Cardinals lead the Phillies 1-0, top of the 8th. Save the season chance tonight. But Caleb Ferguson came in the 8th, and he is now allowed the bases loaded, nobody out. And he's coming out of the game after getting nobody out last night. Nobody.
So, and you want to hear, did you say that he walked the bases loaded specifically because he did in fact walk the bases loaded?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And he did the same thing last night too.
Kyle Schwarber, I can understand. Trey Turner, I'm like, and then Bryce Harper, I'm like, okay, this is a problem. So now Luis Ariz is coming in. Ryan Stanek is the replacement.
They're gonna need a ground ball back to the pitcher here.
Yeah, or like an infield fly or something.
Yeah,
because you know Ariz is gonna put it in play. You ain't striking him out.
And knock on wood, Luis Ariz has not had a good series so far. I think he's over. So here we go. Here comes the first hit of the series for Luis. But yeah, Ryan Stanek needs a little Houdini here in a 1-0 game. And I joke about it, but 4.5 games out of a wild card. Falling to 5.5 is not great, losing the first 2 at home against the Phillies. So need this one after last night's loss.
You're dancing around it a little bit because earlier you said that this was the season-defining game for the Cardinals, where if their wild card hopes would effectively end today, August 11th, if they did not win this game against the Philadelphia Phillies, against Christopher Sanchez and the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, they didn't get anything out of Sanchez. Off of Sanchez, he went 6. My boy Andre Vellante also pitched very well in this one. There is a out at home for double play. Alec Burleson comes up with the 3-2. Who was covering 4? I don't know who was covering first, if Alec got back or not, but nice play. Now we got to get probably JT Real Muto out and get out of this mess. Good job, Ryan.
That was impressive.
Was impressive.
Yeah, it was Burleson who did get back. So that is a 3-2-3 double play.
Yeah.
So now, it's JT Real Muto. It was 0 for 3. This is big here. Base hit ties the game, but he's not very good.
Defining the season right here. This is the
Rodney. I gotta say that double play will be in the World Series DVD if they get that far.
With their 84 and 80, whatever they need to be, 84 and 78 and get into the World Series. Yeah. Who knows? But you may be ahead of me over there in Hawaii time, so don't say too much here, and we'll see what happens with JT. First pitch was a foul ball.
I will not.
That looks like a long way. No, he caught it. I think
he caught it.
Oh,
to the warning track.
Hey, look at Ollie.
So Ryan Stanek came in and threw how many pitches? So
like 4.
He inherits bases loaded, no outs, facing a 3-time batting champion, followed by a multi all-star. And throws legitimately, it was like 4 pitches.
4, I know. He gets out of it. Yeah. That's a big one right there. They got to finish this one. Riley O'Brien will finish it. Did you see Ollie?
He was quite pleased. He was quite pleased. That's Rodney, to get your reaction live on the air. What a treat.
Yeah,
what a treat that was.
Anyways, thanks to Gateway Sports.
Yes, thanks to Gateway Sports. All right, let's transition here to baseball. We talked a little bit about the Cardinals. They are still technically in the wild card race. They would be 3.5 back if they're able to hold on to the 1-0 win against the Phillies. Miami is still ahead of them. Miami, I guess, has turned things around. They've won 3 in a row. San Diego has turned things around. They've won 3 in a row. I am learning now in real time that the Arizona Diamondbacks are 8 games over 500.
Yeah,
they've been playing some really good baseball.
Yeah, but you know where I'm going next with this one. Your Pittsburgh Pirates have absolutely found the tank.
Yeah, and today, Paul Skeens pulled after 60-something pitches, velocity down to like 96 on his fastball. I'm going to make a pre-call right now. I'm going to pre-call. See you, Paul Skeens.
Done. Yeah,
and potentially beyond, which would be tragic. Yeah, I have a way of just totally infecting the Pittsburgh Pirates whenever I speak highly of them.
They just pull him for the rest of the year, or he has a Tommy John or something. That'd not be good for baseball. Pirates, yeah, they're pretty much out of the race. Nationals are ahead of them, but yeah, the Miami Marlins playing some good baseball. Been good to see for them.
Yeah, well, they played how many they win? 12 in a row? Or I don't even know. No. What it was is they had like a stretch in June where they were the best team in baseball. And then they lost 12 in a row right after. And now they're back to playing good baseball again. Because that's just how it works. Like the Red Sox. The Red Sox for about a month and a half could not lose. And now they've lost 4 in a row.
Yeah. You got beat by Dylan Cease tonight, and they did get Adley Rutschman in the lineup, and Roman Anthony's on the way back. But, yes, 4 straight losses for Boston. For you hate to see it.
Tough scene. Tough scene, yeah. So as of right now, as of this moment, I know there's still some games in progress. The Tampa Bay Rays just refuse to lose. They now have a 5.5 game lead. It will be 6 if they beat the A's today in Sacktown. They look, once again, really, really good. Yankees now 3 up on Boston, the wild card. So comfortably there, but as of right now, Rodney, would you be surprised if we get a rematch of Red Sox at Yankees in the wild card round, just like last year?
Yeah, 4-5, right? It'd be the 4 seed against the 5 seed.
Yeah, it'd be exactly like what we saw last year.
There we go. Everson Pereira for the Cardinals just hit a home run. His first Cardinal home run. The guy they picked up from the White Sox. Thanks, Skeeter.
I was going to say, that name sounds very familiar to me. Everson Pereira. He's a Cardinal now.
Yeah, thanks, Skeeter. But anyways, I would not be surprised at the 5-seeded Red Sox at the 4-seeded Yankees in the AL wild card.
Yeah.
Be a fun series. Probably give the edge to the Yankees if they can get some of their bats back.
Yeah, bats. Basically, it's gotten to the point now where unless the Yankees starting pitching can literally go out there and give up 2 runs or less, they have no chance of winning a game.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. It was at home against the Braves this weekend. They had Max Fried, Garrett Cole, Cam Schlittler, all 3 in a row. That's their 1, 2, 3 in any playoff series. The 3 of them gave up a combined 3 runs in their starts. It's more than you could ask for, right? They took 2 out of 3. Each of them were 1-run games. One of their wins was an extra innings, and that's because they miraculously found a way to come back down 2-0 in the 9th, 2 outs, and found a way to tie it, and then won it in extra innings with a sac fly. So, they needed every single bit of their starters to just deliver masterful performances against a team that right now is 2nd in the National League in the Atlanta Braves, 3rd best team in all of baseball. That's a lot to ask for your pitchers night after night. The crazy thing is their pitchers have been answering the bell. Yeah. They have a winning record since the break. It doesn't feel like it, but they've won more than they've lost since the All-Star break. But they scored more than 4 runs, I think, once, maybe twice since then. It's been painful to watch, and it doesn't feel like there is any answer other than Cody Bellinger, followed by Stanton, followed by Aaron Judge. That's going to be the only solution.
Yeah. How's George been? First week?
George has been good. I gotta say. So I'm not even looking at what his batting average. So he got another hit today. He's hitting 286, but it's a very small sample size. But there's a couple things I really like about George. Number one, he plays a really effortless shortstop.
Oh yeah.
Where Anthony Volpe looked like he was trying so hard every time there was a ball hit to him because it just didn't look natural. And I think after a while, some of the miscues got to him mentally. But immediately, George Lombard has looked the part at shortstop, has made some great plays, and just feels like a natural fit there, which is awesome because he's made plays that Volpe couldn't, and that prevents runs.
Yeah,
and they need all the run prevention they can get when the offense isn't hitting. And I've also been really impressed with his just approach at the plate too. He's drawn some walks. There was one instance over the weekend where he challenged back-to-back 2 pitches in a row, back-to-back strike 3 calls that he challenged that were both overturned, drawing a walk, which then led to him scoring the game-tying run.
Yeah.
It's the things like that you don't really expect from a 21-year-old who's just trying to not make a mistake. But he doesn't look like that. He doesn't look like he's afraid of making a mistake. He's playing with confidence, and he looks awesome.
Yeah. So will we see Volpe back with the team at all?
I do think so, but not as a shortstop.
Yeah.
I think if Anthony Volpe is going to play at the big league level this year, it's going to be as a second baseman. Kind of splitting it with Jazz a little bit. Maybe he is maybe he comes in as a right-handed hitter who could play second base. But that's what Jose Caballero is for, though. For as well. So I don't really know how he'll get in. It would probably have to be at the expense of someone like Ahmed Rosario, who hasn't been hitting too well this year.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it might honestly be AAA for the rest of the year, and then next year if Jazz leaves, he gets a shot to win the starting second base job if he feels comfortable there.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. All I can say is like the George Lombard experiment. We're a week in. I've been super impressed with the kid, and they've given him all the runway and opportunity to step in and like hey kid, like we need you to come in and play well, and he's done great so far. So very happy.
Okay, let's move to a little Cub talk, why don't we?
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I was gonna. Can I mention one more thing before we get to the Cubs? It was
Yeah.
sort of on my topic list too. Now that the Mariners, they lost again. This is their 5th straight loss. They lost 4-1 to the Yankees today. This is the team that you and I both picked at the All-Star break to win the American League.
Yeah.
They're 8 games under 500.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh still sucks.
Yeah.
Do we take this opportunity now to officially backtrack and say we are hopping off the Mariners train, or are we going to count on a September miracle run? Which, like, we see that happen. We see that happen all the time now in baseball. Like, one team just goes on a crazy run late in the season, but like the chances are running out for the Mariners.
42 games to go, roughly 5 games out, but have 5 teams ahead of them. Tigers, by the way. Tigers, Twins, Guardians, Blue Jays, Orioles, all ahead of them. Basically the last contending wild card team. I mean, honestly, they're in a very similar situation as the Cardinals. Like, it's like do or die time. Now, obviously, the Cardinals are 1 game over 500. The Mariners are 8 games under.
But adjusted for league, adjusted for league. But like Seattle also has a lot more teams to hop over than the Cardinals do.
Both teams better pick it up, and it better do it right away. I will not officially bury them on tonight's show, but they better start picking it up, and they better start picking it up soon. I mean, 56 and 64, 500 is going to be pretty close to that third wild card, though. I mean. You can get back to 500, but you got a little climb to get back to 500 at 8 games under. So we'll see.
Quick math check. So they've played. So how many games have they played? 100 and 120?
Yeah, 120.
Right?
Yeah.
So okay, so there's 42 games left. Just to get to 500, they would need to go.
Yeah.
Was that
25 and 17?
5 and 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean. 25 and 17 isn't crazy, I guess. Even though they have a horrible, tough schedule here. Are you ready for the rest of their August?
Oh boy!
So after this 3-game series at the Yankees, they're at Houston, which kind of feels important. They then go to Milwaukee. They then host the Cubs, host the Phillies, and then they go back on the road for a 6-game series or a 6-game trip with Toronto and Boston. Before then, they finally host the A's beginning of September. That's a brutal stretch there. That is 3 weeks of hell.
Yeah, several teams that will be either in the playoffs or contending for the playoffs because you got Boston and Toronto. Because Toronto is a team I'm not ready to give up on yet either. You know, they're also kind of up against it at 3 games back, 5 games under 500. But like we've seen Toronto really get hot. So Toronto and the Mariners, I'm not ready to give up quite yet, but they better get hot.
Mariners. So basically, Mariners, their blueprint is, hey, let's just tread water for the rest of this month, get to September, and then we have the A's, Rangers, A's again, Angels, Rockies, Astros, Angels again.
Wow.
So you got the A's twice, you got the Angels twice, you got Colorado in there, and then you have opportunities against Texas and Houston straight up if you need to make up any ground. So, like, that's the window where if they are finally going to play good baseball after 5 months of dog shit, like, that's where it is.
Yeah, but at 8, you got to make a little headway towards 500 in August.
Yeah.
I know it's tough.
Yeah,
I know it's tough.
Yeah.
But if you start August, you got 25 games. You start September, and you got 25 games left, and you're trying to get to 500, and you're 8 under.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, you're right. You're right. You gotta steal some series here. You gotta basically go up against like Milwaukee and try to take 2 out of 3 there. You got to win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs at home. Like, you have to win these games here if you're the Mariners. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I'm not quite ready to, but I'm definitely picking out what I'm going to write on their tombstone. Like I'm at that point, but I'm not officially burying them.
By the way, the season has been saved in St. Louis. 2-0 final. Riley O'Brien came in, got the job done.
Huge win.
Still alive. Got to face Zach Wheeler tomorrow. Yeah. But Kyle Leahy goes for the Cardinals, and he's been pretty solid. So we'll see. But tomorrow's another must-win. Got to win this series.
And then real quick, just looking at the other races. Atlanta, are you saying Atlanta, they got the division? It's official?
I think so. I think so. Marlins Nationals aren't going to catch them. And I just don't think the Phillies. Yeah, I don't think the Phillies can get hot enough. Phillies are good, obviously, but I just think they're too old to be consistently hot. They're old.
Dodgers are quietly 2-8 in their last 10. They've had a losing record since the break. Tarek Skubal didn't pitch particularly well yesterday in his home debut. They did end up winning because they were able to just survive at the end. But 7.5 games now. Like I remember when that lead was like 12.5 not too long ago. There's no world in which Arizona or San Diego actually threatens the Dodgers, right?
I wouldn't think so. I did pick Arizona to be my playoff team when we did our at the All-Star break pick. So I do like that Arizona team right now, the way they're playing. But I don't think so. I don't think the Dodgers lose the division. I think the question for the Dodgers is there a chance that you can catch up with Milwaukee or Atlanta? Because right now you're playing in the first round.
Yeah, well, they're only half a game, if that, behind Atlanta. They're just one behind in the win column, so very, very close. So could tie Atlanta with a win today. Like I'd have to think that they get at least the 2 spot, but yeah, it would be interesting if the Dodgers end up in the 3. They'd have to play those 3 extra games. Right now, it'd be against the Phillies. Yeah, and then you would have Diamondbacks at Cubs in the other wild card matchup. So because they don't reseed, right?
They do not reseed, no.
So the 3 versus 6, they would play the 2 seed.
Correct.
So then the Dodgers, as of today, it would be Dodgers hosting the Phillies. And then if they advance, they would face the Braves in the next round.
That's correct.
I mean, that's not easy. That's not very easy for the Dodgers, honestly, especially if the Braves are healthy.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, that Colin Cowherd's one of them that he keeps saying. He's like, guys, like this Dodgers team is not that good. He's like, they're old, they're beat up. He's like, we're not, he's making fun of the ruining baseball, which, I see both sides of that, but like, they're not, I don't know, but there's a switch and they'll probably flip it.
You would think, but also like all their offseason signings kind of whiffed. Like Kyle Tucker's been a big failure. Edwin Diaz has been a big failure. Like now, the reason that we cry about the Dodgers and the wealth disparity is because they can pay guys like Diaz and Tucker hundreds of millions of dollars combined. They can be terrible, and it doesn't matter. Like that, there's no other team that can pay Kyle Tucker and Edwin Diaz that type of money, have them perform so poorly, and be just totally fine. To just be like, oh, okay, that's fine. We still have Shohei Ohtani and all this other stuff, but like that's sort of the point. Like their moves haven't really worked, and Skubal, I think will get it going at some point, but 2 starts in, he hasn't looked particularly great. I'm keeping my eye on them. Yeah. Just intriguing. All right, we can finally talk about the Cubs now. You've been desperate to talk about the Chicago Cubs all show. We weren't on Thursday, but this is something that you wanted to bring up last week. So, What are your thoughts as someone who gets to see the Cubs on a more regular basis than I do? They're 20 games over 500 now. PCA is he now the favorite? Has he officially passed Ohtani in the betting odds?
I mean, if not, he probably should. I mean, let me pull it up here real quick. But I mean, the Cubs just continue to find it, and they're really hitting. And now they've got some pitching that will keep them in ball games a little bit. So I'm going to pull up the MVP odds right now. By the way, I had a money line. By the way, I had a money line bet on the Cardinals. So I'm seeing the cash that I took tonight as I log in here. But anyways, Major League Baseball. Let's see here.
Yeah, won again today, 8-6. Like the offense is just crazy hot.
Yeah.
Just looking across the board here, like Bregman struggled a lot earlier this year. His batting average is into the 250s now. PCA is 285. Say Suzuki's 271. The lineup from top to bottom can hit. They can hit for sure.
Yeah. So World Series odds, the Cubs are 6, tied with Boston. It's Dodgers, Yankees, Brewers, Braves, Rays. So they're 12-1. If you wanted to put a money line bet on the Cubs, they're 12-1. Let me pull up MVP odds. DraftKings did not have them. I don't know if there's something going on there. They're just not posting them right now.
Something's fishy.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Let's see here. This was as of 2 days ago from ESPN. Let me pull this up here real quick. PCA -120.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, even money. That is it, because then it's CJ Abrams at 100-1. So it
is a two-man race. Yeah.
In the American League, Jordan is -900.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Cy Young, your boy Cam Schlittler is a -125, but Dylan Cease is.
I was going to say I wouldn't be shocked if Dylan Cease makes a late comeback there. Yeah. He's pitching really well for
knocking on the door at even money. Mm-hmm. Sonny Gray 25-1, and in the National League, it's Jacob Mizorowski -525. Now, the one I wanted to get to is the NL Rookie of the Year. JJ, my guy, JJ Weatherholt is -150. Sal Stewart +115. So pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. AL Rookie of the Year looks like it's going to be McGonigal out of Detroit, as he's -525.
So right now we still got a month and a half left of the season, and it seems like every single award is either already clinched or it's just between two people.
Correct.
Is that normal?
Not really, no.
It doesn't feel like it, especially for something like a Cy Young too. I feel like we have multiple contenders, but yeah, like I'm just trying to think of like AL Cy Young, for instance, Cam Schlittler, Dylan Cease. I'm trying to think of who I would even throw in there as a real legitimate third option. And honestly, there's no one that's coming to mind for me.
Right.
Like Seattle's had some good pitchers, but nowhere near the level of dominance and the stats that Schlittler and Cease have.
Right. Yeah, no, it is a little bit odd to be wrapped up this early or have a two-man race, but it's just kind of the way the season's gone. But should be fun with the races we do have, though.
Yeah. So, all right, back to the Cubs here. So are you buying the Cubs as a World Series team? I know you gave the odds, but they have obviously the Dodgers to get over. They have the Brewers in their own division. They have Atlanta. They have teams like Arizona that are on their tail in the wild card. So realistically, do you think that this is PCA's generational run can carry into October and be enough for them to beat these teams? Because pitching is going to be the big question, but they could just out-hit everyone too.
Yeah, I mean the way they're hitting, they have dudes up and down the lineup. If guys like Dansby Swanson and Alex Bregman do find a fountain of youth a little bit, and they have over the last couple weeks and months. Michael Bush and Nico is hitting well enough that I mean I think this is a team that can take it down. They improve their pitching, but when you get to a playoff rotation, and then you got Shota. If Shota's going to be one of your starters in the playoff rate, he has the potential of giving up 3 home runs in the first three innings. So that's the biggest question. Obviously, I am interested in 12-1 odds. That's for sure.
It's not the craziest bet. It's not. And especially when you think about, Atlanta just consistently having to deal with injuries. Milwaukee's an easy postseason fade. And then the Dodgers, if you buy into their struggles post All-Star break being legitimate and potentially showing that, hey, this team is not the unbeatable powerhouse we all assumed. Yeah, the Cubs look pretty interesting there. And it would be different than what we typically see in the playoffs, which is pitching and lower scoring games.
Right.
But who's to say? Who's to say that offense can't carry over there, especially if PCA is going to be he's effectively been for the last 2+ months best player in baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, he just keeps finding ways out. He Cubs Cardinals series this weekend. I am not looking forward to facing him because it seems to be red hot still. But PCA on the season is hitting 286. He's got 26 home runs, 71 RBIs. Has struck out 141 times, but he's putting up the numbers. He's got hits in 7 out of his last 8 games. So Cardinals at the Cubs. We'll talk about it on Thursday, but that's the final time they meet this year.
That shouldn't be the case. I disagree with that.
But
I disagree with so you're saying the schedule makers in their infinite wisdom were like, hey, the Cardinals and Cubs, 2 huge rivals, potentially close division. You know what we should do? We should make sure they don't play it all in the final 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened. That's what happened. They've 2 series in each city, and here we go.
Right.
Cubs got the White Sox after that, so it's like rivalry week for them. But yes, no more Cubs Cardinals, but the Cubs and Brewers will meet up twice in September, so the division will be on the line there. Cubs also finished the season at Boston. Interesting. I don't know if it'll matter at that point if both teams will probably be in, but
I think both teams might be in, but it's a question of, it could determine, like, is Boston going to, like, Boston could be playing for home field advantage in the wild card round against the Yankees in that series, or the Cubs could be doing the same, or hell, maybe the Cubs are even close to the Brewers at that point. So yeah, there's a lot at stake there. That's a great series to end on, great interleague series. I take it back, schedule makers. I should never have doubted you. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah. So I think you might have missed it, but boy, that preseason game was pretty good. You saw the end.
I missed the entire thing. I did see the final play. Without knowing any other Hall of Fame games off the top of my head, was this the greatest Hall of Fame game of all time?
Well, they're saying it. The kids are saying it. The adults are saying it. Yeah. It was 33-30. We got to see some offense. Haynes King was good. The
Hall of Fame game, I feel like, is always historically very low scoring.
Yeah.
So I what was the over under? Do you remember going into the game?
I think it was in the 30s, man. I'll have it. 34.5. Carolina basically shattered that themselves. 33-30. That's a fun one. Both teams would score this in the first, so we were like, oh, right, another snoozer. Both teams scored 17 in the second. Third, we only saw 1 field goal. So all the points came in the second and third with 33-30. That's a fun one. That was a fun one.
That was fun.
But
apparently AJ Dillon is a Panther now.
Yeah, I heard. I saw that. Yeah, but now the real games, not the real games, but everybody else plays starting Thursday, including your Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Detroit Lions.
That's a good one. Packers Steelers too. Man, for a preseason slate, I shouldn't be this excited, but Thursday we have Lions Bengals, we have Packers Steelers, we have Colts Patriots, we have Chargers Texans.
I know.
That's a good slate here. That's a strong slate.
Yeah, Drake May.
Oh my God, and Rodney, Saturday, we got Rams Chiefs.
Yeah,
what a game.
Drake May's not going to play. Eagles Ravens Saturday as well.
Yeah.
I mean that's it. Cowboys Seahawks, but we're going to get guys that aren't playing. But Aaron Rodgers thinks he might be playing a little bit. Why?
I mean, it's hard to get a drive in, right? Typically, these starters will get a drive-in, no?
See ya, Achilles.
Could you imagine? All right, so scenario. Aaron Rodgers has already announced that this year will be his final year playing in the NFL. The first preseason game, he tears his Achilles again. Does he keep his word and retire on that note, or does he force another year? Despite continuing the Brett Favre trajectory, ironically, of saying he's going to retire only to then not retire.
I hope if that actually happens, he just kind of quits on the spot, just goes out to his darkness in Montana, and we don't hear from him anymore. But he likes to be heard from, so we will have to hear from him. But
he loves telling everyone in the world how secretive and private he is.
Yeah. He was on McAfee the other day running his mouth. But that's an interesting scenario. I don't think he would come back for another year, but I think we'd hear him yapping all season, even though he's hurt.
Just teasing. Just teasing. Are there any teams? I know preseason's kind of hard to really get a feel for teams, but like, is there any team in particular that you're like looking forward to see? Like, obviously, like the Giants, I'm looking forward to, not just because they're my team, but like, I keep hearing how hard John Harbaugh's running this camp and how much he's trying to just reshape the way that they do things and how they're conditioned. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like to see how that looks on a football field now.
Yeah.
I'm sure like a lot of the teams that have new coaching staffs, you'll be interested to see. But is there a team in particular where you're like, I want to keep my eye on them?
Well, this really doesn't answer your question because we talk about these guys all the time. But I'm really interested in seeing Ben Johnson's second year and Caleb Johnson Caleb Williams being more accustomed to the Ben Johnson offense. And Caleb apparently lost weight. Now they do have some injuries, and there's some concerns about how Ben Johnson runs his camp. Is it too physical? Things like that. So that's how I'll start the answer. And then the team that they play in the preseason opener, the Cleveland Browns, like, am I watching the Browns because I think they're going to be very good? No, probably not. But like, how long has it been since we've seen Deshaun Watson play? And
feels like forever.
Like, what? Like, if we do see Shedeur, like, we got to start seeing a little bit better Shedeur, right? Like, I know he didn't start last year, so he hasn't even gotten he hasn't taken the reins of the team, but like, he wasn't real good for a lot of last year. And then one more Carolina, because Bryce Young really kind of flirted with being really good at the end of last year. Can he build on that?
I think it's good. I think the Browns are just super interesting. Do you see what Todd Monken said? He was talking about the quarterbacks, and he was saying, like, oh yeah, Deshaun's been playing better, blah blah blah. And then one of the reporters like, so coach, do you mean that he's playing better or are you saying he's playing better than Shedeur? Like basically trying to get like some controversy. And Todd's like, I'm pretty sure I didn't mention Shedeur at all, so don't come at me with that shit. Like that was more or less how he approached it, which good on him. Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, is Dylan Gabriel just also like Dylan Gabriel started multiple games for them? Is he just like not at all a factor anymore? Is he just so buried on the depth chart? I don't know, but I'm fascinated. by them.
Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
I want to see how the Bills. adapt, not just because of the new stadium, but also like they were so like I don't know. The whole coaching search was odd that no one really was psyched to get that job. The GM stays, but the coach is gone. They just promote from within with Joe Brady. It's one thing to be the offensive guru coordinator, but it's another thing now to run the team. And like Joe Brady has a lot of expectations to make Buffalo fix the little things, which the little things were the reason why they haven't been able to get past the AFC title game and to get Josh Allen to the next level. So that's going to start in the preseason. I want to see like, are we going to see a different type of Buffalo Bills team now that Joe Brady is in charge of everyone and not just the offense? So that's a team I'm intrigued by a lot.
Yeah, so two things. Number one, on the Bills' first opponent preseason, they play the Panthers there. It's a revenge game right there, right? That's a revenge game for DJ Moore.
Yeah, DJ Moore.
And then the one I wanted to mention, your Giants take on the Minnesota Vikings, and it will not be J.J. McCarthy unless an injury happens. So I found that some interesting news this week that they decided right away before we saw any preseason action that Kyler Murray was going to get to start. So probably weird seeing Kyler Murray as the starting quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, right?
That's going to be very weird. Yeah. It's going to look very weird out there. Yeah,
I agree.
It's probably the right decision.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it's weird. It's weird. Like we see quarterbacks leave all the time or move. But that's just one that's like striking me as like that's weird.
Yeah. So he'll probably. They're not going to sit Kyler Murray. Like he's learning a new offense. He's with a new coach. Like he's got to play at least a little bit on Saturday. I would think. Yeah. That's another one that's a good call there to see what that looks like in Minnesota. Because like if Kyler Murray can have a resurgence with Justin Jefferson and those guys like. Kevin O'Connell, man, he works well with quarterbacks. I could see it working well.
Yeah.
But also, like, is Kyler he is who he is? I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Those are some interesting ones. That we're going to find out as early as Thursday.
All right. Just bouncing around a little bit here. So, this was on the initial agenda last Thursday. Odds to win the NCAA football title. I haven't really been thinking too much about college football yet, but it's definitely sneaking up. So the season starts when? Is it?
Will be 2
the
weeks from
29th?
Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're 17, 18 days away, whatever it
Yeah.
is. And in North Carolina, TCU will play right away. But Ohio State, Notre Dame are current favorites at 6-1. It's all the normal. It's the normal teams, right? Because you got Texas and Georgia after that. You got Oregon and Indiana after that. And then Miami and LSU come in to round out the top 8. But Ohio State is interesting. Ohio State, Notre Dame's interesting because Notre Dame's going to get the chance because they're not going to lose in the regular season. Their schedule's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
Ohio State may get tripped up a little bit, and obviously with 12 teams, we're going to find different ways. But I was wondering, I just if there was any outside the top 8 that we thought could make a run. I'm not buying in on Texas Tech. I mean, Alabama at 25-1 is kind of interesting. I'm not really buying in on Michigan with a new coach. Miami at 10-1. I don't know, but yes, college football less than 3 weeks away.
Where did you say Indiana was somewhere in that top 8?
Indiana's 6th on the list. They're 9-1 to repeat, just below Oregon and Georgia, just above Miami.
That would be something. I don't see it. I don't. There's no way, right?
You wouldn't think. A new quarterback now. They obviously transfer portal. They're going to bring in dudes. They're going to have guys, but that's going to be awfully tough. That would cement Cignetti as okay. Maybe this guy does know what he's doing. I mean, we know he knows what he's doing. But to do that would be fantastic. Just kind of going down a list.
Is this the lowest we've seen Alabama in a minute at plus 2,500?
Yeah, and there are 10 teams ahead of them. Lane Kiffin's old team at 30-1. Ole Miss. All of those SEC teams kind of right in the mix. Like maybe not favorites, but we're knocking on the door. I do think the SEC will be Texas or Georgia. I do think those two are better than the rest, better than LSU, better than Ole Miss, and better than Alabama.
All right. Today we got the announcement. The NBA schedule is out, and
some of it.
This kind of. Yeah. This might be the best opening, not just the best opening night slate, but the best Christmas Day slate ever. I think I'm gonna declare it. I think both of them are. I looked and my jaw fell to the floor when I saw these matchups. So, opening night, Celtics at Pistons. Rodney, I'll remind you, these were the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, and they're just casually playing at 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, October 20th.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that, right?
Maybe. I don't know what it is. Maybe someone listening can help, but I'm not 100% sure. But go ahead.
Yeah, middle of the afternoon is interesting, but it does allow for triple header for those that can watch in the middle of the afternoon. I know that's difficult, but Celtics Pistons is a good one. Yeah, top 2 teams for the most part. It's
not a bad appetizer.
It's a new look Celtics team without Jaylen Brown. But we'll see. Pistons pretty much have the same team, right?
They haven't really done too much. They lost Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
Just kind of they still haven't re-signed Jalen Duren, if you can believe that. Okay. He's still a restricted free agent sitting there, and I'd expect him to re-sign, but they've kind of been pretty quiet this offseason. Yeah. 76ers have not been quiet. They've had probably the best offseason of any team in the NBA. And their season, LeBron James and the Sixers, will open the season, the Mecca, to watch the New York Knicks receive their rings, to see the championship banner. I mean, LeBron's debut against the defending champion Knicks is just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, most thought this would probably be how it would work out. There's rumors that it'll be the most expensive regular season ticket in NBA history.
I've seen that,
raising the banner, LeBron being there, things like that. I like this one because I like anything that can showcase the Madison Square Garden. Jalen Brunson will be on display. Hopefully Joel Embiid's not hurt by that point. But first game.
He'll be resting. He'll be resting. It was a grueling preseason, and he'll need to rest opening day. Prediction: we will see a fully healthy 76ers starting five on opening night. Yes or no?
I think so.
You do? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the final game of the night is a really good one as well because it's got the Western Conference champions against the previous NBA champion. We've seen these guys battle. They love to battle. Thunder Spurs in San Antonio.
I could watch it. I could watch Thunder Spurs every night and be content with it.
Yeah.
In San Antonio, so like the Spurs get the reward to be at home for that game, which I think they deserve, rather than going to OKC. So but like Celtics Pistons followed by Sixers Knicks followed by Thunder Spurs is really freaking good.
Really good, yeah. Triple header all on NBC too. Like you can get them right on your regular channels. That's No, I thought they did a nice job.
And then I was going to mention too. So like it's a few of the games in the rest of the week. That's just opening night. Wednesday you have a doubleheader. You have LaMelo Ball and the T-Wolves against Giannis and the Heat. Following that, you have Warriors-Lakers, which is nice late game. Then LeBron's debut on Thursday in Philadelphia is against none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And then you get Nuggets Thunder after that, Jokic against SGA. Then Friday, it's Knicks at Celtics, and then Rockets Spurs. Like, boy, they came out swinging for these nationally televised games on opening week.
Yeah, we haven't even got to Christmas yet. The one you said was the best Christmas slate ever matches with an NFL tripleheader. So you're going to have multiple screens again on Christmas Day.
So remind me, Rodney, I want you to pull up the NFL Christmas slate so we can figure out how to sort of schedule this and block our time on Christmas for how we're going to be able to watch all these games at once. I'm assuming that NFL's putting them on Netflix again. Is that right?
Netflix for the first two and Fox for the last one. So you've got Packers, Bears at noon. Now these are Central Time.
Okay.
Packers,
Bears at noon. That's an hour after Spurs Knicks, a casual NBA Finals rematch to start off our day. Okay, so you get that for an hour, and then you get Packers Bears.
You get 3:30 Bills at Broncos.
So at 1:30 Central, you get Giannis and the Heat against Jason Tatum and the Celtics.
Pretty good. All
right, and then you would go NBA, then NFL, then NBA again, and then what did you say? Bills Broncos.
Bills Broncos. Yep.
So while you have Bills Broncos going on, you also have LeBron and the Sixers going to LA. I'm assuming that's going to be his first time back in LA against the Lakers.
Okay, NBD, and then at night you got the Rams. That'll be pretty good. Yeah. At the Seahawks. Oh yeah, they're the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. You also have the Thunder at the T-Wolves and the Nuggets at the Warriors.
Yeah.
That is combined with the NFL. That's the best Christmas Day sports calendar we've ever had.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's beating that.
They literally want you to have the TV on. Sports wants all your time on Christmas Day.
They are just trying to become another Thanksgiving. Because like Thanksgiving, I feel like it's part of the culture to have the TV on because you have your NFL Christmas Day games, you got some college basketball, but like I think they want Christmas to be the same. And honestly, I will be absolutely furious if I'm in a position on Christmas where I can't watch all these games.
Yeah, because that's all
I want. Like and I think the loophole for us sports fans when we get asked what do we want for Christmas, I just want to watch these games. Don't give me any presents. Just let me watch all these games.
I got eight of them. 3 NFL, 5 NBA. Just
from 11 Central to what? Like 11. It's like 12 straight hours, basically.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's like 12 straight hours. Just like leave me alone. We'll do the presents early, do all that, and then 11 to 11, I'm out. That's my gift. Yeah. That's my gift. That's the only gift I need.
There you go. Should we look at an NFL division real quick before we
Yeah, real quick. So last week we took a look at the NFC West, the Rams and the Seahawks leading the way there. Now let's look at the AFC West. And the AFC West, it kind of reminds me a lot of the NFC side, where there's one team that just feels like, okay, they're out of it. But there's 3 other teams in there that kind of can go in any sort of way, depending on injuries and what have you, that all seem to be really good. You have the Denver Broncos, who were the 1 seed, who, if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, they're probably in the Super Bowl against instead of the Patriots. So that's like you have to view them as a potential Super Bowl contender. You have the LA Chargers, who I've already told you I'm going to be uncomfortably high on this year, given just how I see their roster, the improvements that they've got, that the injured guys that are now back, and like Mike McDaniel now running that offense. And then, Patrick Mahomes, if he's healthy, is going to come back, and that Chiefs team should be pretty good again.
Yeah.
Like, what are your initial thoughts there? Like, without looking at schedules, without looking at odds, just like, what's sort of your gut telling you about that division?
I mean, I'm hoping it's the Chargers' year to win it, right? I'm hoping it's the Chargers' year to win it, and I want Kansas City. Don't we think the NFL is probably better if Kansas City's staying relevant and staying in it, right? Like, we don't want Mahomes out all year and 4-13, right? We don't need that. So I'm hoping it's competitive all the way along, and honestly, I'm hoping the Raiders can make a little push. Raiders can find a way to beat somebody along the way. And, you get to week 12 and you're not real sure what's going to happen in the division. If I had to pick a divisional winner, I'm taking the Chargers at plus 190.
Is Denver the favorite right now?
No, Kansas City at plus 160. Denver's third at plus 225.
Really?
According to our friends over at DraftKings.
It has to be in large part due to schedule, because we've looked at Denver's schedule, those first 6 or 7 weeks that they have and how tough they are. We looked at I don't remember off the top of my head, and I could pull this up real quick, but I think the Chargers also have a stretch in their season where it's just a total nightmare too.
They do.
But like Kansas City being a 6-win team, they're going to have a little bit easier schedule than those other 2 teams, and maybe that has something to do with it. I'm going to pull up the Chargers here because I'm interested to see how that all lines up.
There's a Chargers do have a brutal stretch. I just saw it recently.
Yeah. So, all right. So, this is starting in week 3, Rodney. Week 3, they're at Buffalo, at Seattle, hosting Denver, at Kansas City, at the Rams, which is kind of a home game, hosting the Texans, at Baltimore.
That's brutal.
That's from September 27th through November 16th.
Yeah, brutal.
Before they finally get the Jets.
Yeah, so that's why I said without off the top of my head, taking the Chargers, because when I go back and look at the schedule, I'm gonna guess I don't have the Chargers win the division because they're not winning all those games. They're not going on the road for
no, but I think there's a difference between like saying, oh, they're not winning all those games, but also like they're favorites against Denver, they're favorites against Houston, they could be favorites against Kansas City depending on Mahomes' health. Like, they have the talent to be able to beat any of those teams.
Yeah.
They have the talent to, and then they end the year. They get the Raiders in early December. They get the 49ers at home. They get the Dolphins on the road, but then they end the year hosting the Chiefs and then at Denver. That game at Denver could decide the division.
Yeah,
in week 18. Yeah. So but they have the talent to win any of those games that we just talked about.
Yeah.
They're still a very good team.
Yeah, and then of course the last team in the division, the Raiders, and I know he's not supposed to be starting right away. Kirk Cousins is supposed to be the starter, but like what are we going to see out of Mendoza? And he is supposed to get a lot of time in his preseason opener. Be curious to see how that works.
Fernando Mendoza. So, all right, let's figure out when Fernando Mendoza is going to start. Let's just look at the schedule because I agree. I think Kirk Cousins is your week 1 starter. But if the Raiders come out struggling, then I think a new coach won't have any problem like taking him out and putting in Mendoza. So week 1, they face the Dolphins. Kirk will survive. At the Chargers, Kirk will make that. At the Saints, I think he'll do. Maybe week 4 hosting the Chiefs. Do you think week 4 could be when? Because like week 4 is when Jackson Dart, for instance, made his first start.
Yeah, because
at home.
Look at that October schedule for the Raiders. At Patriots, with Bills, with Rams. Oh.
Yeah, at Jets. So, yeah, I mean, there's never an ideal time to put in a rookie quarterback. But basically, like, could you see Kirk like struggling against the Chargers and the Saints on the road back-to-back weeks, and then them making the change for week 4? Like that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Yeah, no, in a home game against the Chiefs on October 4th. Yeah, I mean, that feels a little early, but you're right. If 2 back-to-back struggles for Kirk.
Yeah.
But Kirk, I feel like Kirk kind of can go through several weeks and survive. Like Kirk has found ways to do that before, and then it starts kind of really hitting the walls.
But there's really like Kirk Cousins is nothing more than just a placeholder. The second that Fernando Mendoza is ready, he's going to play. I think we also just have to consider like how soon do we think a guy like Mendoza is going to be ready? He's an older rookie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is.
Clearly, he has a lot of the intangibles that you want. Seems like someone who picks up things incredibly fast. So, like, I don't think that the Kirk thing is going to last long. I'll say no later than week 4. I'll just put my name on it there. No later than week 4, Fernando Mendoza will be starting.
All right, that's early. I think that's too early for me.
So, where would you go? Like week 6, hosting Buffalo?
I think we might even see more like November 1st at Jets.
Wow.
Because I see the streak of like, okay, he starts the season decent, but then he runs into a real buzzsaw in New England, and it's Bills, Rams, and the coach is like, I'm not doing it for those two. I'll just let Kirk kind of be the sacrificial guy out there for those two. And honestly, I'm not predicting an injury, but like, is he going to survive the Rams without getting hurt?
It's possible. But then like we could also play that game too, or even if they wait until November, they're going to throw him in against Seattle and Denver back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Like we could.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know. But do you want Fernando Mendoza playing the Rams on October 25th? I don't know if I do.
If he's played a couple weeks, if he's had 3 or 4 starts before then, I think it's fine. But if it's his first start, no, I would put him in. That's his debut.
You're going October 4th. I'll go November 1st at Jets.
Yeah, I think October 4th. I think that Kirk will be just fine against Miami. I think he'll really struggle at the Chargers, and then I think he'll be too mediocre against New Orleans, and then by week 4 they'll feel like he's ready. Kansas City will still be sort of getting their bearings back because maybe Mahomes is in, maybe he's not. They're at home, and gives them an opportunity to start, get a few games in before the schedule really picks up. That's what I'm thinking. All right, shall we wrap up the show? We're gonna do best bets for betting on Thursday. So real quick, let's remember someone. And you came up with this name on Thursday, so we're gonna use it today. Rodney, remember Rich Gannon?
Yeah. Well, I was watching the NFL game or getting ready with the preseason game. I was trying to kind of go, just thinking about older quarterbacks. He's an older quarterback. Rich Gannon, 60 years old. I definitely remember Rich Gannon. Threw for 28,000 yards. He threw for 180 touchdowns. But yeah, do you?
So here's my memory of Rich Gannon. Okay, so I really started to like know football players probably around like turn of the century, so like 2000, 2001, something like that.
Yeah.
So my memory of Rich Gannon is exclusively as an Oakland Raider.
Yeah.
And ironically, like as a really good Raider, because he was an MVP for one of those years, the year that they went to the Super Bowl in 2002. So, like, I only remember Rich Gannon as, like, a Pro Bowl quarterback in Oakland with Tim Brown as his receiver, Jerry Rice for a couple years. Like, that's my memory. So, but, like, I didn't really know anything about him kind of being a somewhat like middling quarterback before then with Minnesota and with Kansas City. Like the stats before he got to Oakland were really unimpressive.
Yeah. No,
And it wasn't until he got to Oakland in 99, his first year, where he was a real full-time starter. He was fully healthy. He played every single game for 4 straight years. He was a Pro Bowler in all of them. He was first-team All-Pro twice and MVP once. Like, that's a really insane late career turnaround.
Yeah, for sure. Because you're right. Some of these numbers in Minnesota, early 3 years, 90, 91, 92 in Minnesota, not great. Didn't get a ton of opportunities in Kansas City until his last couple years.
Had never had more than 16 touchdown passes in a year before he got to the Raiders. And then with the Raiders, he had 24 plus 4 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, his Minnesota time, 16 and 16 in 1990 and 12 and 13 interceptions in 1992. So, yeah, not great numbers there. But I did want to play the game, and hopefully you haven't looked. Rich Gannon was drafted in 1987, Tim. Now, this one's going to be a little bit tough for you.
I'm not going to know 1987 NFL draft. I was born in 92.
No, you're not. But the first pick of the 1987 draft was a quarterback, and he was a Heisman Trophy winner out of Miami.
Was this Vinny Testaverde?
It was. Vinny Testaverde. Testaverde was the top pick. By
who? Because Vinny Testaverde is another guy that I only remember him late in his career as a Jet.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay took him. Cornelius Bennett was the second pick to the Colts. Let me just run down some names that you remember here. Rod Woodson was drafted by the Steelers in this draft. Remember Haywood Jeffries?
No.
He's a receiver for Houston. Jim Harbaugh was drafted 26th overall in this draft.
That would have been the Bears, right?
For the Bears, yeah. Second round, Christian Okoye, running back for the Chiefs.
Was that the Nigerian Nightmare?
Yeah, I believe so.
That was one of my nicknames.
Yeah.
Not in real life. To clarify.
Kind of going through some of these. Yeah, I don't see much.
I'm looking here. So one name I do recognize is Mark Ingram Sr.
Yeah.
Who was a former Giant. He was a wide receiver that the Giants took late in the first round there.
Yeah. By the way, Gannon played for the Blue Hens of Delaware, where he. So isn't that where Joe Flacco went?
So Delaware produced Rich Gannon and Joe Flacco.
Quarterback you.
So all right. I no longer want to hear anything about Eastern Illinois being the best small school that produced NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, because
when you have Delaware producing MVP Rich Gannon and Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
that far outweighs Tony Romo and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
and who else? Who's the third one? I'm clearly forgetting someone from
Sean
Eastern.
Payton
And Sean Payton.
Yeah. Rich Gannon is no longer doing broadcasting for CBS. He hasn't since 2021. But I do remember his time as a CBS guy. By the way, will we see Tony Romo back on CBS at all?
I do not think so.
I mean, we all saw the videos and things like that, and I don't want to get in, but I've seen recently where it's like the replacement's like permanent.
If he was really like a valuable part of that broadcast and was a great broadcaster and all that, like I could see it. It's one of those things where it's like if your superstar athlete gets into trouble, you're able to sort of find a way to work with him. But if like a guy in the back of the bench does it, it's an easy cut.
Yeah.
Like Romo, when you factor in the contracts, when you factor in the part that like it's been confirmed that there were like multiple sort of like meetings that CBS had to basically like we need to improve him in the booth because he's been progressively sort of getting worse. Like I think this is a very easy out for CBS.
Yeah.
A character clause thing, easy out. And like JJ Watt's good. He moves up to the number one spot and they have it covered. And I don't think the broadcast really misses a beat.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear JJ Watt on a weekly basis. I've heard him before, but weekly basis, see what happens there. But just thought I'd bring that one up, and
yeah,
that's too bad for Tony Romo.
It is too bad. good news is he's rich, and he will find a way to continue doing the things he loves, which is golfing and maybe boozing it up while he's golfing.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, Rodney. A couple things. You could follow us at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. Sign up for the Substack with the QR code on the top of the screen. Ronnie is dropping pics there every day, straight to your inbox. So scan that; it'll take you right to the stack, as the kids call them.
Some potential changes coming to the Substack. We'll announce those when they do come out. With the NFL season comes some changes, right? Like football's here. It's kind of it's time to restart. I like it because like the school year starts it's like it's not a new year because the new year comes in January, but it's like the start of a new year. Like school starting.
It does feel like a new year. It does feel like a new year. Like it's like it's the back to school, but for adult sports fans.
Yeah. By the way, you probably have no idea because you only have a dog. But when do kids go to school in Hawaii? Like, is it soon? Do they go now?
Yeah, they just came back, I think, last week.
Okay, so you're right close to the same schedule. Okay. I just was curious because, like, do they get summers? So they got summers off.
Yeah, they do get summers off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just random question. Anyways, So if anything changes on the Substack, you can find it there. But sign up. All the information. I'd get signed up now. Just go ahead and sign up.
I would do it now.
I'd do it now. Yeah, and you can see the changes that might be coming. But good show tonight, Tim. Good. Thanks for setting it up. I'll set Thursdays up, and we'll have NFL going on.
Perfect. All right. He's Rodney Newpel. I am Tim Hillbilly Kobe Van Stratton. We'll talk to you Thursday for another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.